Here now is Ohio Congressman Jim Renacci, House Ways and Means Committee member. He was at that tax meeting with President Trump, and frankly, I care a lot more about that than what the president started talking about. But I have to ask you, was the message about tax cuts plan 2 overshadowed by the Russia thing?
Well, no, look, the president made a mistake. He admitted it. He talked about what he believes in our intelligence system. And then we started talking about tax 2.0, which I think was important. That was the gist of the meeting. And we talked a lot about making sure that middle Americans can continue to have this tax break. Permanency was a big issue. Savings is a big issue. A lot of people back home in Ohio, where I'm from, are now seeing more money in their pocketbook. And they're trying to, and what we're saying is, let's make sure they also have opportunities to save it, put it in savings accounts, 401ks, all those type of things, because in the end, it's about keeping your own money, but also making sure you have enough money for yourself and your family going forward.
Congressman, you're unusual for a couple of reasons in Congress. One, you're a former business person. A lot of people there don't know anything about business. And two, you're a CPA. You are a CPA, so you understand about money. And clearly, looking at the budgets of these folks inside the Beltway, they don't understand about money. When you look at those two things and you see how business has taken off since the first tax cuts, what do you think, from a purely economic CPA standpoint, do you think with tax cut plan 2?
Well, look, in the end, I think what we got to do is not wait 35 years to stay competitive. That's a real key. We waited too long. We let other countries become more competitive.
But if I could just force your hand here, I mean, are we going to have the same kind of boom we've had in the past 6 or 7 months with a plan number 2, or has that already been worked into the economy?
No, I think we're going to continue to have that, because I think in the end, businesses are going to see more money in their pockets so they can grow and expand, add more employees. We're just starting this process. This is the first year. I was in business, as you said, for 28 years. I knew what it was like every quarter to have to write that federal deposit check. Now, all of a sudden, these businesses are getting a little break. When I travel Ohio, they're saying, we're going to expand, we're going to grow, we're looking to the future, we want to double our size. This is all going to happen, not in this year, but next year and years going forward. That's why this tax cut 1.0 was so important, and 2.0 makes it permanent for a lot of middle-income Americans.
Well, and hopefully some of the top rates will come down a little more, too. But let me just ask you about timing. We heard Chairman Brady say that he wants to have a plan put together by September, and maybe Paul Ryan could put it to a vote by then. But is there anybody from the other aisle, just a month or two before the election, who would vote for something that might somehow benefit the Republican Party?
Well, look, when I travel the state of Ohio, this isn't benefiting the Republican Party. It's benefiting individual taxpayers and individuals back home in Ohio as they see more money in their pocket, and now they can have some certainty and predictability. So this isn't an issue about Republicans or Democrats.
Well, Congressman, I understand very well, but the fact is that there is an election, and Democrats have made it clear that they're not going to be persuaded by any argument that I've heard anyway coming from Republicans on taxes. Do you know of any Democrat who would vote in favor of a further tax cut?
Well, look, the Democrats didn't vote for the first one. They're
Right.
probably not going to vote for the second one. But in the end, it's the American people that will judge this, whether it's Election Day. Let's face it, elections have consequences, and I think we've moved pretty forward. People back in Ohio are happy with the money they're getting back because of tax reform. They'll be happy again in November if they see us continue to move forward and adjust so that the working man and woman can have a little bit more money in their pocket.
Well, and at least voters will have a chance to see who's in favor of tax cuts and who's not. That might be a maker or breaker for a lot of people. Congressman, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.